For years, America's pizza war looked loud and obvious. Pizza Hut owned the family night image. Papa John's sold the idea that better ingredients meant better pizza. And then there was the chain people used to joke about, Little Caesars. But while everyone argued about taste, one company built a weapon so simple it changed what winning meant. And the strange part? It wasn't about making pizza feel special. It was about making dinner feel effortless. Today, Little Caesars is a massive global chain, thousands of locations, serious scale. But size isn't the interesting part. The interesting part is how it got there. Because the move that made Little Caesars dangerous wasn't premium ingredients, luxury branding, or culinary innovation. It was a different kind of advantage, one most businesses underestimate. Sometimes people buying food are not chasing flavor. They're chasing relief. So here's the real question. How does a value brand outmaneuver giants without winning on the usual battlefield? And what happens when your whole advantage is built on being fast, predictable, and cheap, while the cost of everything keeps rising? Because if speed breaks, the advantage breaks with it. The story starts in 1959 in Garden City, Michigan. Mike and Marion Illich put their savings into a small pizza shop. No celebrity launch, no venture capital, just a simple bet. Sell an affordable pizza people would come back for. They expanded the hard way, store by store, year by year, eventually franchising far beyond Michigan. For a long time, Little Caesars was just another pizza chain. Then the competition changed. Pizza is a brutal business because pizza is easy to copy. Dough, sauce, cheese, everyone has access to the basics. So being good is rarely enough. Being known isn't always enough either. Most chains answered by adding more toppings, more crusts, more promos, more limited time offers, more reasons to compare. And that can work until the moment that actually decides the sale. The moment when someone is hungry, tired, late, stressed, and thinking, just feed us now. That moment does not care about slogans. It cares about friction. Think about what pizza night often looks like in real life. Kids are hungry. Friends show up unexpectedly. You worked late. You open the fridge and there's nothing. Now you're doing mental math. How long will delivery take? How much will this cost? Will everyone agree on toppings? Will someone complain when it arrives late? Every extra decision adds pressure. So the enemy isn't taste first. It's delay, it's uncertainty, it's friction. Remove that and you change the outcome. Pizza Hut and Papa John's often played a persuasion game. Choose us because we're better. That's a comparison strategy. Little Caesars aimed at something more primal. Remove the comparison. Don't make the customer debate. Don't stretch the moment. Don't turn dinner into a decision tree. Make it obvious. Make it immediate. Make it easy to repeat. That idea scales differently. In 1997, that mindset crystallized into the move that defined the brand, Hot and Ready. And what made it powerful wasn't just the price. It was the promise about time, not order and wait, not build your perfect pizza. Instead, walk in, grab a hot pizza, walk out. That sounds almost too simple to be dangerous. That's exactly why it worked. Little Caesars was attacking the most expensive part of the food business, uncertainty. And uncertainty is what the system eliminates. If you make people wait, you risk losing them. If you make people choose too much, you risk exhausting them. But if the product is already there, already hot, already obvious, then you've turned dinner into something closer to grabbing milk on the way home. Routine, not occasion. Not glamorous, not fancy, but unbelievably powerful. Because routines repeat. And here's the part most people miss. If you're into true business stories, subscribe. Hot and Ready works because it shortens the decision. It turns pizza from a planned purchase into an impulse solution. It turns dinner from a conversation into a reflex. Because once you remove the wait, you remove the negotiation, you remove the maybe. You remove the reason to open a second app, compare another deal, or talk yourself out of buying anything at all. That's where a lot of sales die, before the order is even placed. Little Caesars attacked the most expensive part of the food business, uncertainty. And in a hungry, stressed moment, certainty feels like value. But this only works if the operations hold. When a strategy really works, you can see it in the smallest possible moment. Not in the ad, not in the slogan, in the choice a person makes when they have almost no mental energy left. Picture a parent driving home too late, knowing dinner is already a problem. That person is not looking for an experience. They are looking for the fastest way to make the problem disappear. And this is where Little Caesars became more than a pizza brand, because it didn't just offer food, it offered closure. No scrolling, no waiting for a driver, no watching an app bounce between preparing and on the way, no quiet frustration building while everyone gets hungrier. Just a short stop, a hot box, and the feeling that one more thing tonight did not turn into a battle. That matters more than it sounds, because customers rarely describe this out loud. They won't say, "I'm optimizing for reduced cognitive load under time pressure." They'll say, "It was easy," or "It was right there," or "We just grabbed one." But that is the whole psychology of it. The brand is not winning a food argument. It is winning a low-energy moment. And once a company becomes associated with relief in those moments, something powerful happens. You stop needing to resell the customer every time. The decision gets shorter, then it gets familiar, then eventually it disappears. That is when a brand stops being a preference and starts becoming a reflex. Because the moment a customer expects instant pizza and hears, "It'll be 15 minutes, the magic is gone. So Hot and Ready wasn't just a menu item, it was an operating system. Once you build around that promise, everything changes. Your kitchen layout, your prep rhythm, your staffing, your training, your forecasting, your store design. You stop being a pizza shop that reacts to orders and become a production engine that anticipates demand. That creates a huge advantage: throughput. Serve more people per hour with fewer delays, fewer mistakes, and a predictable handoff, and volume starts to compound. But it also creates risk. Produce too much, and you waste food. Produce too little, and the promise breaks. So the whole model depends on discipline, standardization, timing, simplicity, consistency. This is where Little Caesars starts winning in a quieter way. Volume creates repetition, repetition creates habit, and habits don't need persuasion. Pizza Hut had huge brand recognition and a legacy identity tied to a different era of pizza. Dine-in, family tables, occasion. Papa John's built a strong quality message and delivery positioning, a choose-us-for-a-reason model. Little Caesars didn't try to out-premium them. It tried to out-simplify them. And in real life, when people are rushed and price-sensitive, the winner is often not the best. It's the easiest. And once quick pizza run becomes the default, market share builds quietly. But building on value creates a brutal vulnerability. When costs rise, labor, energy, packaging, cheese, wheat, you get squeezed. Raise prices too much and you risk breaking the value image. Hold prices too long and margins bleed. That's the tightrope. You're not just managing food costs, you're managing trust. And when customers feel the promise slip, they usually don't make speeches. They just leave. That silence is the signal. That's the whole game. Little Caesars didn't win by making pizza the fanciest option. It won by becoming the fastest path from hunger to relief. You've watched Triumphs and Troubles. Subscribe to the channel for true business stories and comment, which company should we cover next?